Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. Just want to let you know that WILDMAN, the Bigfoot Odyssey is now on Amazon.com. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can go ahead and watch it for free. I'll have a link down below in the description so you guys can check that out. Sorry it took so long, but it's up there now. I'm really happy about that, and if you like it, please give it a rating. That will help out quite a bit. Today's episode, Russian Bigfoot research and the ape-human hybrid experiments. I've been doing a lot of reading, and it seems to me like over the past 80 years or so, there's been way more serious research on the subject of Bigfoot in Russia. I don't know why they take it more seriously than we do here. Maybe they have more sightings and more accounts. Like in the Western Siberia region, there's been thousands and thousands of reports of hairy wild men going back for a long time, and a lot of these remote villages have reported seeing these strange creatures. There's been expeditions, like actual expeditions with scientists to these remote regions. I think it was in 1958 they assembled what was called the Soviet Snowman Commission, and it was a team of scientists whose job was to research, Yeti reports, Bigfoot reports. I find that very interesting. They actually had like a government kind of operation going on to try and find these creatures. I do believe it was disbanded shortly after it was started. I don't know why. I couldn't really find any information on that. But, maybe they found something. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. There's been reports of, kind of like Sasquatch nests being found, hair samples, lots of tracks. I don't know, but like in more recent times, it seems kind of like the whole Yeti and Bigfoot subject is being used more in a way to kind of attract tourism to some of these areas, and a lot of these things that are going on. Like there was in more recent times, an expedition where I think John Bindernagel was there. I think Jeff Meldrum was there. There was a group of pretty prominent Bigfoot researchers that went on this expedition, and they were studying these twisted trees and twisted branches. And I know John Bindernagel was big on that. He was a believer that the twisted branches was definitely a sign of Sasquatch. But I don't think Jeff Meldrum was really buying into that. Apparently there was some sign of, actual tool marks on the trees, so kind of brushed it off as a hoax. But they don't seem to be as standoffish in Russia on the Bigfoot topic. You know what I mean? It seems like as time goes on, there's less and less serious research being put into the subject of Bigfoot by like actual scientists. And there's not a lot of actual scientists looking into it. Like who do we have now? Jeff Meldrum, who's actually working at a university. Now since John Bindernagel passed away, we're losing these big name actual scientists who are looking into this. It's mostly just amateur investigators nowadays, and there's other organizations like, the Alberta Sasquatch Organization, which is comprised of enthusiasts, right? We're not actual scientists. Now, one of the really weird things I wanted to talk about today was the 1925 experiment in the Soviet Union to create a human-ape hybrid, or I guess this is kind of where the term humanzy kind of came to be. There was a government-funded experiment. The scientist's name was Ilya Ivanov, and he was funded to create, a hybrid human-ape being. And I think he was given about $1.5 million, like in today's value. I don't know what that is back in 1925, but it was the equivalent of $1.5 million. And it wouldn't work. They were trying to, shoot some human sea monkeys into a chimpanzee, and for whatever reason, there were too many barriers, between like the genetics of a chimpanzee and a human that, it just wouldn't impregnate it. So they were having issues that way, and also it wouldn't work when they tried to put, the chimpanzee DNA into a human female, which they tried. Very, very bizarre experiment, and it's almost something out of like a strange science fiction novel. And I'm assuming because it was 1925, whatever methods they were using to do this was extremely rudimentary compared to like today's standards. It makes me wonder, Like, there's a lot of genetic experiments that go on today between, like, crossbreeding different types of animals. But I wonder if it would be possible with today's technology, you know, to create this human-ape hybrid or human-Z. I mean, when I think of this experiment and what the results could be, it reminds me of the Planet of the Apes movies, you know? Especially the old ones, the gorilla-type characters. They're basically walking gorillas, and they speak like humans, and that's kind of what I imagine. But if this experiment, you know, happened, not only would one of the possibilities be to create an individual with a human brain, with human intellect, and the strength and, you know, brute force of an ape. That's just one possibility. Like, there is also the chance that, you know, you create something with a human body, like a frail human body, and the mind of an ape. So it's a lose-lose situation that way. But, I mean, could you imagine? I imagine the results of this, if it was that, like the intellect of a human and the body of a chimpanzee or some sort of ape, it would look very similar to Sasquatch or Yeti. I don't think it would have the height, but it would definitely have, like, the strength and, you know, the wits and the intellect and the ability to make decisions. You know, if a creature like that wanted to make the decision to go hide in the woods, it'd be able to, you know? But it makes me wonder, like, that's just one experiment we know about. I wonder if there's any more that went on. You know, it might be worth digging into, seeing if there's any documents online about this old stuff. It was rumored that Joseph Stalin wanted to make an army of, you know, highly superior ape men that could just destroy a normal human being, you know? An army of super soldiers. That would be scary, encountering an army of ape-human super soldiers. But this is, like, I'm listening to myself talk about this and it sounds absolutely crazy. And I can't believe they actually tried to do this, but very interesting. I think a lot of it is speculation. I don't know how many of the statements, you know, when you look into this, who knows what is actually true. This happened a long time ago in Russia. You know, the story could have been twisted and fabricated in certain ways. Like the idea of Stalin wanting an army of ape men, I think that's mostly speculation. I don't know if he's actually been quoted saying that to anybody, but very, very strange. You know, you're basically creating a Sasquatch creature in a lab. But it's just one of the most bizarre stories that I've heard and I wanted to share with you guys. I'm sure there is documentaries about it, and I'm going to try and find one and post it in the description so you guys can, you know, have a closer look at that. Wildman, the Bigfoot Odyssey is on realhouse.org, and it is now on amazon.com, so if you have Amazon Prime, you can go watch it on there. Hope everyone's ready for Christmas and is having a good holiday so far. Thanks for watching this episode of Mountain Beast Mysteries. We'll see you next time.